So many young people today are quite liberal with sex. They view sex as just a normal human act to address a normal urge. Like, if you're hungry, naturally you eat food to satisfy your hunger. If you're thirsty, you drink water to satisfy that thirst. So also they say, if you have this urge for sex, then you should have sex to satisfy that urge. Now, I have no problem with that if you are a married person and you intend to have intimate relations with your spouse. But many young people engage in it while they're still single. Some would even justify it by saying they only do it with just one person within a steady relationship and that they're not sleeping around. But there are others who even dispense with this sense of commitment to one person, and they will do it with anyone who is willing and available. A popular phrase came out a few years ago, friends with benefits. For some of our young people, they engage in sexual relations just like it's a normal way of having fun with friends, no strings attached. Unfortunately, the more we engage in this, the more we are pulled farther away from God. The Apostle Paul gave this very clear command in his letter to the Corinthians. Some people in the church of Corinth probably thought they can take liberty with their sexual relations, just like everybody else in the Roman Empire. Not so according to Paul. This is what he said. Flee from sexual immorality. Every other sin a person commits is outside the body, but the sexually immoral person sins against his own body. Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body. Sexual immorality is any form of illicit sexual relationships. In the New Testament, this term is distinguished from adultery, which is the sin of a married person having sexual relationship with someone other than his or her spouse. So, sexual immorality is all other forms of sexual relations outside of marriage. The Apostle Paul commands us to flee from sexual immorality. Takbuhan, iwasan, layuan ang sexual immorality. The reason he gives is that this is the only sin that we commit with our own body. While we may not fully acknowledge it or be even aware of it, most of us believe that we own our bodies. Sabi nga ng iba, ako naman ang may katawan, pwede kong gawin kahit anong gusto ko at wala naman akong sinasaktan. From this view, sex is just a means of expressing one's freedom. But Paul asserts that this body is not ours. Our bodies are the temple, the dwelling place of the Holy Spirit. Just like the physical temple of the Jews in the Old Testament, where the temple is where God meets His people, so also your body is where the Holy Spirit of God becomes present in our lives to meet us, be with us, to guide us and lead us. God is here. God is with us. And so, to commit sexual immorality is to make this temple of God impure. May tatanong ako sa iyo, magagawa mo bang dumihan, sirain, i-vandalize ang iyong simbahan? Hindi, di ba? Unthinkable. Because you respect your house of worship. Kung ganon, bakit mo sinisira ang iyong katawan na templo ng Holy Spirit? You're hurting yourself. The Holy Spirit is grieved. God has reserved marriage as the appropriate place for sex. Sex within marriage is where we can enjoy the intimate pleasures that God desires a man and a wife to enjoy within a loving relationship. Remember, man or woman, as we preserve our bodies to be set apart and pure as a temple of the Holy Spirit, and as we obey the command to flee from sexual immorality and be willing to wait for marriage, you must keep in mind, faith matters too.